Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, May the 5th, 2023. Friday, May the 5th. Okay. This is gonna be a short recap, y'all, because nothing really happened. We had the memorial of Neil's death. They had more action when they opened the room honoring Neil. I mean, it's like the same thing they're doing. And it was just a smidgen of a handful of, okay, all right, look, they could do them, right? They could do them, but I don't know. It should have been more. But whatever, it is what it is. And the lounge is small anyway. So, okay, I guess we could get away with it, right? So let's go to Sally. Sally tells Nick what her father said to her, right? Pretty much buying your child from you. That's really what it was. You know, the child's a Newman. I want the child. But you, on the other hand, nope, you can go anywhere in the world. You just can't stay here, child. Nick was livid. What? Not livid. Victor's done that before. That ain't the first time, right? Victor's done that before. He does that with everybody he doesn't like. Every woman. I can't think of a one that they liked. When Nick got involved with Sharon at first, they didn't like Sharon. Sharon was from the wrong side of the tracks. Come on now. Thought she was a gold digger. I can't think of one person that they have liked for Nick. Do they even like JT for Victoria? I can't remember. They definitely didn't like Billy for Victoria. I can't remember if they liked JT for Victoria. Anyway, so he was pissed off. He listened to her talk and he's like, okay, well, listen, I'm getting you need some rest. I'm getting ready to go and have room service sent up to you. And she goes, wait, are you leaving? And he goes, yeah. She goes, no, or are you going to confront your father? She goes, Nick, I know how to handle your father. And I'm thinking, no, you don't, but okay. And actually, yeah, you do. You got the ace card. You got what his father wants. Actually, you hold all the cards. See, renegotiation. Now I know what you're willing to do for your grandchild. Now I'm summoning you for a meeting at society. And I'm going to sit you down, Victor. And I'm going to say, I got to thinking about what you said earlier, how rough it was for growing up without, our parents, really my parents, your parents. So why on earth do you think I'm going to do that to my child? I don't give a darn how much money its grandparents has. I'm the mother, Victor, and that will put a lasting scar on my child, right? How do I now ever come back later to be in its life? No. Here's what's going to happen. I do want the idea of me having my own business funded. I like it. Nick offered to do the very same thing, fund any business I wanted. I said no because I'm independent. I could do it all on my own. But you know what? I will take that money from you. So I thought about it, and this is how much I'm going to need. This is how much I'm going to need to start a new business and allow you a place in my child's life, Victor. This is how that's going to go. Mm-hmm. Just so you know, this is my child, not yours. And then I would look at him and say, so thank you for coming. Have a good day. And get up and walk away and leave him sitting right there at that table. Yes, Victor. Nick is going to go huff and puff, and I told you to leave her alone. Right? Come on, Nick. But now the one that they need to tell is Adam. Woo! But I did see in the excuse me, the scenes that Adam is going to offer Sally a job. I knew that would happen. Adam's going to offer Sally a job. Watch, initially, Sally's not going to accept, but then Sally's going to think about it. And watch, somehow Sally's going to end up working for Adam. They work very well together, very well together. I'm liking that storyline, and Nick's going to hate it. So Adam meets up with Chelsea, and he tells her, for one, he's having a little girl, and she was genuinely happy for him, right? And he said that what's her name, Sally, thought it's best that they tell Connor because she's entering her, he said, second trimester, I think he said. Sally was pregnant in December. January, February, March is first, April. Well, she's not entering her second. She's well into her second, right? She's only got one more month, allegedly, and she's going to be in her third. She's not showing enough. They're not progressing that pregnancy enough for as far along as she should be. So he says that, we feel that before Connor finds out about it from anyone else, that we need to tell him that he's going to be a big brother, because I don't want, Adam's like, you know what? I don't want him to see Sally and assume that it's Nick's when it's really going to be his brother. I mean, his little sister. Right. So she goes, okay, all right. She agreed. And he said, so when do you think we should do it? And she goes, well, Connor finishes soccer practice in less than an hour. He should be here any minute, she said. Well, no time like the present. And Adam was like, oh, okay. He wasn't quite prepared, like, for that no time like the present, right? So Connor comes in and they talk to him. And he goes, our family's expanding. And he goes, wow, okay. How? And he goes, well, Sally is expecting a baby. And he goes, oh, cool. I'm going to have a new cousin. And Adam looks at him and says, well, but I'm the baby's father. Connor looks at Adam, but she's with Uncle Nick. He goes, yeah, she is complicated. Yeah, it's complicated. But you're going to actually be, so Chelsea goes, so you know what that means, Connor? You're going to be a big brother. And the baby's going to be a girl, a big brother to a baby sister. And he's like, okay, but wait a minute. And he's looking at Chelsea. Look, he's looking at Chelsea. He's trying to read both eyes, every wrinkle Chelsea might have on her face. He's trying to read her whole body language. And he goes, how do you feel about this? Because Connor is kind of like, because we, no relapses. We not repeating what happened before. How do you feel? Not how I feel. How do you feel? Right? And she goes, Connor, I'm okay. I'm good with this. It's not a problem. Trust me. And he goes, well, okay. He goes, cool. All right. Now, can I go upstairs and do my homework? I still got that science project due. And they're looking at him like, yeah. He says, all right. So he gets up and Chelsea says, now remember, no computer time until after the homework is done. And he goes, I know. And he gets up and he leaves. And Adam looks at Chelsea. Chelsea looks at Adam. And she's like, well, that went well, I guess, right? Because Connor really didn't have any emotion on it. But really, what emotion could he have had? What was going to be the emotional response? He was like, oh, okay. The hardest thing was for him to hear about Johnny being his brother. Dad's ex-girlfriend's having a baby. Okay. And they assured him that, look, we're not going to love you any less at all. And he goes, Okay, because he's thinking I'm not loved any less. Johnny's my brother. So he's old enough to know that, okay, I'm not gonna be loved less. Because for one, Dad, you ain't even with Sally. So you ain't gonna be spending that much time with the baby. Johnny ain't stupid, right? So then we had Neil's memorial service. Lily arrives first, and she's looking at the pictures. They had a little spread, of pictures there of Neil and Lily, Neil and Devon, and a bunch of pictures of Neil. And then a picture of Neil with Devon and Lily way on the end. And then Daniel comes, and Lily's like, Daniel, you shouldn't be here. She's saying, as far as in this place where your mother collapsed. And Daniel's like, I'm fine. Look, I couldn't be at the original memorial service 4 years ago. I'm going to be at this one. So he reassured her, and she's like, okay, long as you're sure. And then Devon comes in after he tells Abby that Ashley asked Tucker to move in. And Ashley immediately texts her mother, because Abby immediately texts her mother, Ashley, all those A's. Like, I'm at home. Come see me, at the house. And Ashley was having little lunch, dinner, brunch, dinner with Tucker, and saying that she had reached out to Abby, but Abby hadn't got back to her. And he goes, I slipped. I told Devon. She goes, oops, I better. And so as he's telling her that, her text is chiming. And she goes, yep, she knows. She summoned me to her house. So, but Tucker's saying he has some surprise in the work tonight. And I thought, Tucker, oh my God, don't make whatever your surprise could be. It's not supposed to be about you. Why do you have to have a surprise? And so Ashley's like, I hope it goes the way you want it to go. I hope you're not disappointed with their plan. And so she goes, I got to go see Abby. I will meet back up with you. So she goes to see Abby, and Abby's got her to, this is about Uncle Jack. This is just to get back at him. This is love. And she goes, no, it's not, Abby. I have my reasons. Everything's under control. And so Abby says something about, you shouldn't be doing it, or, expressed her disapproval in a nice tone, as if I'm your mom, I'm your best friend, and I could talk to you this way. Ashley looked at her and she said, just remember one thing, Abby. I am your mother, and you will speak to me as such. And I thought, go ahead, Ashley. Abby ain't your best friend, right? Matter of fact, you're the parent. You don't have to explain nothing to her. I'm sorry. I didn't necessarily know Abby went to Ashley and asked her permission to move in with Devon. She got chances, okay, but I don't think I recall her saying, Mom, Devon asked me to move in with him. What do you think? I don't recall her saying that. Somebody in comment corner, correct me if I'm wrong. Nor did she go to her dad. She came down the stairs in a t-shirt to tell her dad, right? Okay. So when Ashley snapped back at Abby, Abby just crossed her hands and looked the other way. Said, yeah, girl, mama showed you who's the alpha in your relationship. So remember that. So Abby shows up later, mingling. Ashley shows up with Tucker. Victor and Nikki, everybody's looking at the pictures with their drinks. It's a relaxing thing. And Victor was talking about how Neil was his best friend and he really misses him. Neil was friends with a lot of them. Neil and Victor, even when Neil left, Victor was pissed when he left the company at one point, but it didn't sever their friendship, because it's like Neil said, Victor, I will never be CEO here. Victor showed that to him again and again. Neil ran that company for years. But soon as Nick got old enough, Nick was the first person Victor was trying to put in there. And then Neil knew he was never going to run that company. And I think Neil spent a stint at Jabot for sure. He worked at Chancellor. He was CEO of Chancellor. Neil has just worked for everybody. That's why I was so happy when he and Devon broke off and did their own thing. I was very, very happy about that. So now we have at the end, Devon and Lily are talking to everybody, thanking them for coming and saying, we're going to just enjoy the rest of this evening with some music. They had a live pianist from the record label playing all of Neil's favorite songs live on the piano. And, Tucker arrives with Ashley. That had already happened. And so everybody's clapping. And then all of a sudden you heard this voice saying, I arrived just in time then. And I looked and I said, okay, I don't think that was the same actress that played Anna when she left with Jet, which was Elena's uncle. I think this is a recast of Anna. I don't know. Remind me, everybody, because I know they've had various versions of Anna. One of the Annas was actually had darker skin, more like Devon's mother, And then I do know they had another version of Anna that did have lighter skin, but I just don't know if it was this one here. So, because actually when she said that, I thought, okay, who is that? My guess is the way Devon looked at her and Lily looked like, huh? And then the way he smiled, I thought that has to be his sister. Okay, that's Tucker's surprise. So Ashley looks back at Tucker and she kind of smiles at him, and Tucker's standing there like, yeah, I did good. I did good. Right? He's trying. He really is trying. And then they had scenes. I had to put scenes from next week. And who do we see? We see Shamar Moore. He comes in. My brother was all about family. And I said, look at Malcolm. And Devon, the first one rushing over to Malcolm. Lily's turning around. Hey, because that's her father, but she calls him Malcolm. Always has been Uncle Malcolm to her. And Devon goes and hugs him. And look, there's Nate in the corner. So they let Nate come. Nate, probably Monday, we'll see when Nate arrives to the memorial, which he should. He's family. He and Neil were close, actually, So what's interesting, let's see how much interaction Malcolm has with Nate. Because for a number of years, while Malcolm was married to Olivia, Nate's mother, Malcolm was Nate's stepfather, while Nate was young for a number of years. So we'll see, how much interaction they have at the memorial service. But that's it. That's it for The Young and the Restless. Let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner, we've got two comments, one from LaShunta. LaShunta says, I missed it. Have a seat, Vicky. I can't believe he manned up. He sure did. Have a seat, Nate. Why did Devon say his relationship relies on Ashley? No, if you didn't see it, I may have misspoke. No, he was saying, you do understand my decision has nothing to do with Ashley deciding to give you a chance. He was telling him, no, we two different people. What Ashley does, Ashley does. What I choose to do regarding you is me. He's like, you understand that, right? And Tucker's like, yeah. And then LaShunta says, Abby hates him. It should be separate. Yeah, Devon really is his own man. He's not letting really anybody influence him in what he does. And Abby, for the first time in any relationship she's been in, she doesn't try to tell Devon what to do. Now, remember when she was married to Chance? Abby told Chance what to do in everything. You have to back me in this. No, Chance, no. She was just, ugh. She don't try that with Devon. What she did, she should have been more the way she is with Devon, with Chance. But see, the nature of their friendship, her and Devon, for years, she never was told Devon what to do in the nature of their friendship. So, you know. And then Libby says, um, I'm so worried. I was so worried about Tucker. Oh, about what Tucker was going to do at the 642nd memorial for Neil. That's funny. But it looks like his plan might be a winner. Yes, yes, it sure does. So, like, I'm just hoping that is really Anna, because that's nobody else that I could think of that they brought back. So that's it. Let's see what happens on Monday. On Monday, we get to see Shamar Moore back as Malcolm. I can't wait for that.